podcast will refer to irresponsible drinking and drug use, frequent usage of the word cunt, references to word sex, and also
We talk some about the shite on this podcast, so just make sure to take everything we say with some grain of salt.
yeah. And let's talk about the first topic of this podcast, which is as seen on First Bus.
Well, you've got a few stories of that, but I mean, I'll start off, man. I need to. Probably the first one was, I was out after a good night of drinking, right? Got on the way home in the bus, and what do we see? Standard argument between two guys that hold up the bus for like what feels like a few million years, who are just saying, oh, I've not got my 20p, bus driver's sitting there in his cabin threatening to follow us, and these two guys, standard Scottish guys, yeah, mate, it's only 20p, just leave it alone, blah, blah, blah. Typical arguments. As I said, Glasgow nightlife is something to be amazed at because it's totally fucking weird. The joys of, as Kevin Bridges put it, being held up at the bus stop by the friendly Glasgow madman, right? The guy threatening to, stab you unless you give him a quid to get his bus home.
And that's why I use trains or a megabus. But then again, the megabus isn't that much better. Well, I'm talking about a scene on First Bus. You've probably actually seen Gassy Maggie, old lady that sits up the back of number 2 with a famous can of Swan right up her beak. And part of the way along the journey, basically, the bus driver comes out of his cab going, "Hey, you bastard, right, you can't do that on my bus." And then he pulls her off, usually with no problem. But basically, she was actually up in court about a year ago because she was sniffing. Quite a witty story, pardon the pun.
Aye, well, coming after that, man, what else do you find in your standard bus journey? You've all been there, you've been sitting quite enjoying your bus journey, you've had your iPod in your ears, you're sitting there just wailing away at the tunes, and you smell something. It just whiffs in at you, right? And then he sits in front of you. And then you're like, your bus journey forever ruined by this smelly bastard who's just obviously not seen a shower or a bar of soap in some time in the last 20 years. And it's just wafting towards you.
There's too many.
Smell.
There's far too many in the West End. Like, going towards, like, fucking Drumchapel and Clydebank. It actually, honestly, is disgusting!
Yeah, true enough, man, but it makes it... The other thing you could probably see in bus buses on a regular basis is, you see it, unwanted intimacy.
Oh my god. I should cover this one, right?
Over it.
Right? This is possibly the most gag-worthy thing I'd seen in 2013. Fat couple getting winchy. And it wasn't to the point where they're winching going, oh, what weird. Right? They were actually getting touchy-feely on the bus. The guy had the fucking hand down Missy's pants. But the thing is, when they doing it discreetly, it was like fucking, like to the point where it was almost like a fucking exhibition. No, we don't fucking pay £4.50 a fucking day to see this shit. We're only paying £4.50 to get to fucking town. I didn't pay for this shit. I'm gonna have a mental breakdown.
Right, that's the kind of thing you see at, like, say, like a rock concert on a fairly regular basis. You'll see, the odd chick with the guy's hand in her pants. But I would say on your average bus journey to work, that is not what you really want to do. Man, a bit shit you find on buses in general. Alright, I mean, say, when was the first time I came looking for a seat, man, right? And, it's like in the morning, you're going to work. You've got all the seats are filled. Except these two seats, and you're like, oh, jamming. I've got a fucking seat. And then you look at the seat, then you see why you'd be sitting in it. Right? Fucking, it could be any range of disgusting object on the seat. And here's just a small example of what I've done, right? Number 1, use condom. Right? I do not want to know what the associated juices were around about that. Bang bus. Hey! That's probably, I'm pretty sure there's an actual porno stage involved around that. Yep. But,
it was probably something years ago, actually.
Use condom, I mean, say, that's one of the worst things ever. Right? That was just sitting there, right? And it just sat there, and it was like, how was that? Did somebody just forget to clean the bus the night before or something? Because I can't imagine anyone there getting up at 6 in the morning to have it off in a first bus.
I
That
know.
seems like such an
And,
unimaginative.
and the other thing is, it would be horrible. I mean, God forbid the guy had a posh wank on a first bus. I mean that must be the most lowest ebb in your life to actually go have a posh in a first bus.
Yeah, that is honestly not the most disgusting thing I've ever found on the bus ride. I think the most disgusting thing I ever found out, and you might want to put your can of Trombo down,
Okay.
was a used tampon.
What?
Alright. I don't know if it just somehow fell out.
Was it
It
on
was
the
gone-
floor or something?
No, it was on the seat.
Well, actually, talking about something really disgusting, right? You probably remember the number 22, it went to head,
Yeah.
but a very long way. But basically, got on the bus this Sunday morning. Old lady was getting on the bus, and she took the bus to something like Barhead, right? And basically, at one point, the driver had to brake extremely hard because there's this cyclist guy being an utter wank on the road, right? And the old lady's bag flopped downwards, right? And stuff started to roll out of it. And basically, a dildo went rolling out of the bus, and basically, he was letting someone off simultaneously, and doors open, and first went off the bus was a dildo. Honestly, it was like, the bus screeched to a stop, doors open, dildo flew off.
I think I'm going to be a bit of a tangent here, but just in tangent, not just first buses, right? Disgusting things that you don't expect to find in your job, but just happen anyways. I would say, right, I've got a couple of examples here. Here's one, right? This one's more of a third party example. I heard about this happening. A mate of mine who was cleaning up a phone party, right? I can't remember if it was Cat House. I don't think it was. It was one of the clubs around Glasgow anyway. Cleaning up the foam party, right? And they got rid of most of the foam, only to find what was left on the actual floor. Beer, standard, your beer glasses lying about, just random stuff like that. But the most disturbing thing ever was this was an unders party, right? So there wasn't those beer cups were being used for non-alcoholic drinks, right? Condoms,
Yeah.
right?
Was
Not just
Savo
one.
there? Was Jimmy Savo invited?
No. Although admittedly this was before the Jimmy party, so we never know. You never know when he's about.
I know,
But
he's
yeah,
a fucking, he's a dirty
this wasn't
bastard.
just one, right? This was multiple, right? We're talking about unders here, so
Yeah.
fucking. Who the fuck wants to be cleaning up an under spunk socks? My mate decided to share that one with me when I was fucking in the middle of my dinner as well. Prick.
Yeah.
But
He should have an eternity in hell for that.
But that one is actually probably pretty fucking tame compared to the numerous shit smearing that we have encountered over the years. You being a cleaner and having to deal with it, and me just being employed in various places where people seem to want to smear shit all over changing rooms and toilets.
Yeah.
Right.
Should we let you go first on this one?
From this one, I will not name the retail establishment just purely for the sake of not wanting to, right? Because I'm both ashamed that we haven't worked there for some period of time, and it's just a shitty place. But nonetheless, it was a place where you could buy footwear. It's predominantly footwear and sportswear. You could probably figure it out what it is from there. But
Aye, for sports wankers.
yes, from this case, what happened was it was encountered by one of the female staff. And then I appeared, and then more staff members appeared, right? And we were all staring in awe as someone had smeared shit all over the fucking changing room. Right? It wasn't just like shit smearing, this was, shit artistry, right? The guy had doodled in it, right? He drew a giant F and U on the fucking wall. And it's like saying, did this guy have some sort of fucking, customer service issue with the establishment? Did he have some gripe that he wanted to get in his, or was he just genuinely angry but he felt the need to smear shit on the wall? I don't know. But all I remember is that it was probably the first time we've ever unanimously presented one face to the manager. We ain't cleaning that shit. We ain't cleaning that. We get paid minimum wage. Fuck off. You can get a professional cleaning team in to do that. Lo and behold, he did. The manager contacts that, and, you know, later on that evening, a couple of guys in fucking full, well, like hazmat gear, or, you know, at least, you know, white suits, clean suits, to come in, scrub the shit off the walls. Oh man, that was just thing. And the probably more recent incident would be it was more of a tampon incident as far as I'm aware, but it was in my recent call centre, is that people just do weird shit in the toilets for like no reason. It's like, why do you feel the need to throw your tampons or stick them on walls or God knows what else?
Hey!
Right?
Hey! You should have warned me, man!
I understand call centres are stressful work, but there's just I don't understand. This was the girls' toilets as well. You know, going back to tampons, right? The guys' toilets was immaculate in this place, but from what we heard from the cleaners, the girls' toilets were always the fucking, you know, worst. The worst. You know, it's enlightening. You know, girls are presented as these neat people when they're really, really disgusting.
They're as disgusting as us.
Right? It's the same thing when I worked at fucking another retail establishment, right? The staff toilets, the guys' toilets were fucking immaculate. The lassies' toilets, when the guys' toilets broke down that we then had to use, oh my god, did they fucking stink to the high heavens, right? And I'm talking about, these got cleaned once a week, right? So it's like, in the space of a week, you know, the lassies had their toiletries and all that, all the fucking, you know, the shelves in there, and fucking God knows what else. That's kind of disgusting. And I hope that guys' toilets get fixed soon, because I don't want to be in here. These were dedicated staff toilets, so they were not exactly as clean or taken care of as well as the public-facing ones, and therefore were quite bad. We only found out about this when, you know, the guys' toilet was broke. I don't know, somebody just dropped a bomb and blocked the toilets or whatever, but good nonetheless is that nonetheless the toilets were blocked up for a while and we couldn't use them. So until, you know, the management shelled it for a decent plumber, we were kind of stuck using the girls' toilets. But as it was, that was just fucking, you know, vile. Utterly vile. You probably encountered a couple yourself.
Yep, I'll take this one. Basically, I was doing a bit of work experience, and I was working up in a building site, right? And you expect builders to be messy cunts. Fair enough. We'll get by this one, right? But I got to the toilet, right? And there was two messy fuckers, right? There was one guy that would go to the toilet in the morning, and he would literally make a toilet seat out of toilet roll, right? It was like umpteen layers thick. Like, fair enough, some people have odd kinks, but the thing is, he didn't know how to flush a fucking toilet after they had a shit! Right? Honestly, the thing was poking out of the water, going, "Hi Andy, let's flush, pal," and you're like, and then there was another guy that literally went to the toilet every morning about 8 AM, and literally, like, his arse exploded. Like, honestly, if you've ever seen a pressure washer in action, think of that. But with shit. It was fucking vile. That toilet alone I'm talking about took fucking 40 minutes to clean. And then someone would have the audacity to come up to me going, "Why were you taking 50 minutes to clean a toilet? You're working too slow." Oi, number one, you're working on fucking the workfare scheme, number one. And number two, you're not my fucking boss, so shut the fuck up. Yeah, you fat cunt.
Actually, you know what? Here's one that I'm going to name an establishment because I've never worked there, but I've been in it once or twice. Right? Now, I can't remember quite how to name it. It's on Cannon Street. You remember that Irish bar? Can you remember the name it? It's an Irish bar. It's on Cannon Street. You can't miss it.
I went at Waxy O'Connor's.
Waxy O'Connor's. There's the bloody fucking pub, right? I was in there a couple of times, right? Twice to be exact, right? And both times, right? Their toilets are absolutely fucking leaking, right? I mean, I could smell the fucking guy's toilets from like, just down the corridor from it. Right? What the fuck are they using to clean their toilets? Are they just, cleaning it once a day? Like a pub toilet should be cleaned about twice, at least. Fucking reeking, man. It's like, seriously, I've never been in a pub toilet that smelled that bad, right? And Wax O'Connell's is a popular fucking, eatery or bar, right? It's not an unpopular place. Yeah, its toilet reeks. Now, I don't know if they were just having problems from the times I went in there, but it is like, honest to God, the number one reason I will never set foot in that place again, right? Because, I mean, I felt physically ill leaving that toilet, right? I went in for just a straight up piss, and fucking in that space of time, just the smell of the place sickened me. Oh, there are some places that just have, I can understand if you walk into a situation in the toilet and you find someone shit bombed the place, right? But it's just, you can systematically tell some bars just do not give a shit about their customers. The toilets are in routine state. I mean, say, no, in case you can't tell, this is not the most formal podcast. We're literally doing this podcast in probably what is, a 4x2 box room.
Aye. Don't worry, this is not a porno, although I did ask Andy to spread his legs.
Oh, fuck. Don't want to bring that shit up, man, is it? I mean, say you're going back to school days shit there, man. There's a topic for you. Fucking stupid shit that you get up to in you fucking nostalgia time, back in school, right? The famous, that probably everybody's parents has said to them at some point or another. Remember your school days. They're the best days of your life.
Like fuck.
Like fuck, exactly.
Every first point, Andy?
School days. Now, just in Glasgow, the Scottish school system is meant to rob every student of, a self-identity, fear, and, generally develop, somewhat of like a steel armoured skin against any insult the world could throw at you. The Scottish school system is quite robust in that sense. It is designed to engage the average student in survival techniques for the rest of their life. Because to get through the Scottish school system, you're going to fucking need them. For instance, now, when I started school, maybe not going to name the secondary school because there's an okay secondary school, but it was during the time when they were building a new school. Now, the new school was really nice. We used to harass the builders every once in a while just because we were, in secondary school and we were a bunch of brats and neds. But first year was an entertaining time.
Yeah.
First year is where, I don't know how much of this is still prevalent now, but first year doings were very much a thing for the Scots in the audience. That just means you get absolutely your head kicked in.
It's like the freshman
first
thing,
year,
isn't it?
Exactly like freshman things for the American.
Oh, man!
Yeah, but very much like, that kind of thing. So, well, the first year, my first introduction to this was me on my way to the chippy, and a bunch of second years busting out of the bushes, screaming, "First year doings, moaning ya bass!" Right? We, not quite understanding what the fuck was happening there, like that. Two of our pals caught, and, that was the end of it. They got a bit of a roughing up. This continued on for the whole first year. We'd have, the odd wee fight in the corridors with the second years. We'd charge them and they'd charge us, and we'd run about the school like fucking riot. We had a wee rammy in the Crown Point, sports centre. They had the track and all that. We had a wee fight up there, there was about 20 versus 20 having their own, throwing sticks, stones, and God knows what else at each other. Having a wee fucking rammy
You
there.
know what, that reminds me of my school, right? I went to Nixon Secondary School, right? And once or twice a year, sometimes would come up for a fight. And quite often, like, we'd send them back packing. Right? It was a traditional Catholic against Protestant kind of thing, and it would always happen at least twice a year until this kind of bridging partnership with the police and the schools thing happened, and now it's more or less gone. It literally, the bridging partnership basically happened a year before I left. Then it was calming right down, but a year before the bridging partnership happened, there was a really big incident where a guy had actually got access into school and came into one of the classes and done somebody in during a lesson.
Oh no, we had a bunch of that as well. We had entirely, like, you're probably going to figure out where I say, but we were basically saying, my school was just in the road to Parkhead. So we had a big load of that, this whole sectarian bigoted nonsense that comes with just being in Glasgow. Between the old firms, particularly Rangers and Celtic, and the first, this whole bigoted nonsense with, Celtic and Rangers was a whole shite. There's a bunch of people that are screaming about stuff that is, centuries past and has no relevance today. But yeah, people still feel the need to fight over it. But no, my school was a fucking melting pot for that kind of stuff. Like I say, we had an incident where there's a reason that the school doors to the Gallagate end were locked for a period of time after like mornings because a bunch of the wee gangsters from Gallagate actually walked in and battered somebody. A bunch of the wee neds and walked in and battered somebody, and the teachers, chased them it. Because see what you like about Glasgow school teachers, fucking hard asses, a lot of them. I mean, say a couple of the first year rammies we had in the second years. Say at least one time the whole fucking like senior staff of the secondary school, who all used to play football together themselves, like the male teachers, and they fucking chased us to fuck. And they really did, man. I say we all remember this older teacher, right? In his 50s, man, right? And my God, can that man, right? He's about 5'5", he vaulted the fence, right? He literally jumped up, grabbed the fence, and vaulted it.
My
On
God,
one
was
smooth
he one of
movement.
a PE teacher?
No, fucking classical studies teacher. Right? Classical studies, man. This guy's been studying Achilles and all that, the old Greek methods, man, but he must have learned something from him because he fucking chased us all the way fucking ring crown point. But there was all sorts of stuff we used to get on in there for that, man. Except there was a bunch of stupid fads that also went about school, other than, the first year doings. Which, incidentally, my punishment for the first year doings was getting my head put through my construction fence. The wire ones, no one of the like, proper
yeah,
fancy,
yeah,
but
yeah.
the wire ones that are big enough to just fit your head through, but then the wires get stuck behind your ears, and then you spend about the next 15 minutes trying to get out the fucking fence. Yeah, I had that happen to me and a couple of mates. We basically just got our heads put through the fence because, we got caught. But, yeah, there was also, the various, other school fucking fads that talked about, boss wanging for once.
Oh, fucking hell.
Right. They just randomly, for the hell of it, punching each other in the nuts.
Isn't that the most gayest thing out?
See in school though, I mean, see the amount of times you use gay as an insult, that's gay, this is gay.
I know, but I'm talking in a literal sense,
Yeah, but that's what I'm getting at, is that the point is that, see the amount of times that you just accuse people of being gay, yet, punching people in the nuts, or just generally doing stuff that would otherwise, it's quite,
Yep, exactly. I mean, this is my next point, right? See, the type of guy that would go about going, oh my God, that guy's gay, that guy's gay, you probably encountered that kind of person that finds everyone gay. But the mad irony is, he's the one that's actually wanting to scan people, number one, and number two, he's wanting to compare his body against everyone else's to see what he's got.
Exactly.
It's so ironic, isn't it? It's like, what the fuck? At least get your stand right before you're going to go.
It's actually a
anywhere.
typical attitude of people displaying, homophobic tendencies, it's just something that I see a lot in day, that they're more interested in doing the kind of things that could be perceived as gay, yet somehow they don't perceive them as that way. But I mean, see, that's just assuming that it's gay and bad and stuff. I mean, see, that's something that obviously everyone in the choir should realise that you really shouldn't use gay as an insult anymore. Is it? In schools, it's kind of understandable. Teenagers are still learning the world, but as an adult, just remember it is actually insulting towards gay people to say something gay or that's gay. Something that I personally, try to get rid of, and it's quite hard because, Glasgow school system, it's something that came with that. You know, try to get rid of it.
The other thing I would say, like, going back to that thing, where I was talking about the guy that brands everyone gay and this, that, and the next thing, and gives the wee geeky guy a really hard time. But ironically, he's wanting to see everyone's wildcard to see what he's got compared to everybody else. It's mad and ironic that he'd actually do that. And the other thing is, he's always the guy that actually has a first whinge of a bloke before anybody else, before all the gay people. It's like, oh, irony much.
Exactly, the point is that there's no difference between that. It's just generally, I'm willing to bet these guys have at least some tendency of some sort, right? Some of these people might even be gay themselves and just feel uncomfortable coming out of it. But it's one of these things. It's one of the Glasgow school system is not exactly the most, how could you say it?
Tactile?
Yeah. The school system in the world is probably a better one. The Glasgow school system, as I said before, is designed to rob all students of, dignity and the possibility of feeling fear. You've been through the Glasgow school system once. Fear is a non-issue. You don't know what fear is because fear was drilled out of you in the first and second years by getting chased around and battered and chased by people with even half-broken golf clubs, which happens in my school.
And happened in mine as well.
Yeah, initially we thought it was a fucking sword. We thought it actually brought out a sword and we were shitting ourselves. We were like, but no, it just turned out to be a golf club.
Talking of happier experiences, right? Do you remember, like, in chemistry that you get petrol board in your hand and ignited and you'd have fire in your hand? It was actually brilliant.
Oh, you covered your hand in something and basically you get, like, for a brief second you'd have fire.
Yep, and it would look like you're God and you're like, yes!
We never got to do the experiment, but the teacher did it, and I'll always remember that our teacher did the nitrogen experiment, which I thought was ballsy as fuck, right? I remember two incidents my teacher done where I thought really got me interested in science. Where one was the nitrogen thing, where I think he covered your hand in water or something, or you cover your hand in it and then you dip your hand in, and I can't remember the exact name of the scientific effect that it is, but it forms like a layer of air between your hand and the nitrogen as it's boiling off, and you can put your hand in it and it'll be fine. And I always thought that was really cool. The other one was the guy showing us the non-reactivity of gold, and he proved it with his wedding ring, right? Ducked his wedding ring right into a fucking vat of acid, just to prove that gold doesn't react, right? And that's a brave man right there, because his wife would have chopped his balls off if something happened to that.
She would have chopped his balls off and fed it to Rex, the dog, You
could also look at it this way: it was a test that the jeweler hadn't lied to him when they told him it was for chemicals.
Aye, totally. Johnny Bravo.
Johnny Bravo. Oh my god, did I love that show when I was
It was brilliant, wasn't it?
Johnny Bravo was one of the most fun cartoons I remember. I literally tried to get a hold of it recently and I couldn't. I just couldn't get it. I was looking for the official DVD, or something like that, and I just couldn't fucking get a hold of it.
You can get it on an Android app called Cartoon HD. Fucking amazing.
You just enlightened my world. I think I may well be on
Android too.
So Android app, right? That'll be great. But yeah, Johnny Bravo. So see if you look at what's on today's cartoon today, man.
It's total pish.
I don't know if it's just looking back, through rose-colored glasses, that the modern stuff now is pish.
It is actual pish. It is.
I remember Johnny Bravo, right? Johnny Bravo, as you're a kid, right? He made a lot of references to stuff that you wouldn't get until you're much older. But I see that as having, yeah. I see that as like they cater to both the kids and the parents that were watching them, right?
Yep, exactly.
See, when I go back and watch some cartoons now, man, like Ren and Stimpy.
Ren and Stimpy.
Ren and Stimpy, I think it was. Ren and Stimpy. Yeah, I think I've got that right. Ren and Stimpy. I don't know if you remember this. Maybe even before your time. Is that Ren and Stimpy was a kind of weird, fucked up show, right? I was watching it recently, and it's even more fucked up than I thought it was. It's equivalent to Adventure Time fucked up, right?
Oh!
Right, as in Adventure Time right now, right? As an adult, that show fucking freaks me out, because...
Actually, there's one worse. salad fingers.
Don't just get salad fingers to cook, right? But in terms of
I
actually
like it
officially
red
produced,
water I like it when the red water comes out.
the rusty spoons thing just fucking freaks me out. Right? Let's leave salad fingers out of this for now.
These are creepy
Yeah.
cunt.
But Adventure Time is like an officially produced show, right?
Uh-huh.
So, you know, you've got Adventure Time going on, and it's fucking, as a kid, right? I can guarantee you, the kid will just gloss over everything that isn't, you know, is adult related because he doesn't know any better, right? The kid will enjoy the show for what it is, right? But as an adult, you can watch that show because all the little fucking stuff that they've hid in there that fly over every kid's head won't fly over yours, and it's fucking warped.
I mean, even the wee character BMO has a few references to adultness because, like, BMO was referring to video cassettes one day and basically he says to Finn, yeah, Finn, you can stick it in my butt. What do you stick in the butt?
Exactly. But Johnny Bravo was a fair bit more tamer than, say, Adventure Time. He was just all round fun, right? Just purely because he was, you know, he was your typical masculine man, sort of based on Elvis Presley, you know, his mannerisms and that, you know. And my favourite episode of Johnny Bravo, where he takes on a sort of this wee kid, this like wee geeky kid, right, as an apprentice, in a sort of, right? And he teaches him all his moves, right?
Oh, fuck, I've seen that.
You remember that one,
Aye.
right? He teaches this kid all his moves, right? Johnny Bravo's going about it. He always fails with them. Every time.
He's lazy
he just
with chicks.
fails.
You
right?
think I'm poor with chicks?
But
you should see Johnny Bravo.
But his apprentice, however, right, is within 5 minutes of applying Johnny Bravo's moves, has got 2 hot chicks on his arms, and he's like, you know, fucking Johnny Bravo's like, what? How the fuck? So, Johnny Bravo. If you've not watched it, watch it. It's fucking amazing.
Totally. Do you remember Connects when you were a kid? It was the thing where you could build shit out of.
Oh, I remember those. Yeah, it was I remember Connects a lot. Yeah.
You could build fucking anything out of it. It was brilliant. Like, honestly.
I still have Connects. You know, I've still got a big fucking plastic box.
Hold the bus put handbrake on. I've got Connects around in the other room.
What was the best thing you ever built out of it?
I'd actually built a racing car.
I built a truck at it.
That's quite brilliant, actually.
I built a wee truck at it, man. It's actually quite good stuff when you use the motors and stuff that came with it. Some of it, right? But some of it wasn't fucking easy to use at all. Because they always lured you in with this grand fucking plan of like a Ferris wheel or something.
Aye. Did you see the picture on the instruction manual? Grande Ferris wheel.
Yeah.
And then it would take like 3 years to build up. You're like, oh, why you do this, Lisa?
It's basically, right, Connects, right, everything that they showed you is like, you can build this, right, was built by like those official guys in Lego, you know, guys who are employed to build Lego, right, build huge Lego sculptures and that, right, that's exactly what they did. It was like fraudulent. As a kid, you'll never achieve that, but if you grow up, you might well be employed as an adult who gets to play with Connects for his job.
Yeah. Also on the nostalgia thread, do you remember the stuff that was put on Channel 5 on a Friday night? Like compared to what we have now, we've got the fucking game shows.
Oh god, right. Here's a nostalgia thread. Here's the big one, right? I'm old enough to remember when Channel 4 came on. It was first put on. No, but I'm old enough to remember when Channel 5 actually someone had to come round and tune it in, right?
Oh my goodness.
So right, I was there. I remember when there was only 4 channels. I was there before Preview. I'm probably the last generation before the internet. You're a bit younger than me, but right, the internet wasn't a big thing when I was younger. We actually went out and saw daylight and played. But
yeah, I don't remember playing that. Was brilliant.
But as it was, right, Channel 5, I remember when that came about. Channel 5 was the porno channel. right? And there was
After
anyone
9 on
that,
a Friday night, wasn't it?
I think it's even before that, right?
Oh my god!
Um,
Kankarama! Oh!
Anybody that was old enough, they probably in the ages of probably around 20 to 25, but will bloody well remember this. Channel 5 was the porn channel. Right? That's where all the 18 rated movies came on, right?
Can I ask you a question? Was Bang Bus on it?
It was never really, like, you know, proper, like, hardcore porn channel, right? But it was like medical porn, right? It was all the official 18 rated movies, you know, like, see like American Pie, for instance, right? If American Pie was out around that time, which it wasn't, but that's the kind of stuff they would have put on, you know. They would have put on all the 18 rated movies. This is how they drew their audience. This is how Channel 5 garnered its audience.
Exactly. See, if they didn't drop that 18 rated segment from our TV schedule every day of that week, right, they would still have the view count nowadays. See, the reason they dropped that 18 rated shit
Because they were getting a lot of stick for it, that's
well,
why.
apart from that, the main thing was an 80-year-old dementia lady was up during the night one night and she'd seen it. And obviously, because dementia people think day is night, night is day, she got really offended by it. She wrote a letter to Channel 5 plus her mates saying that she got really offended, and that's basically why all the blue movies went off Channel 5.
It wasn't just her, it was a whole bunch of people that got fucking realised that Channel 5 was a porno channel. And, like, you know, old people want to know, not just, you know, dementia sufferers or anything like that, right? Just general people being cunts who will, you know, just complain about anything for any reason. You should probably know this.
Yep. We'll go on to the film web behaviours. Right. See if you've been on like Facebook or Twitter or LinkedIn or something, you'll see like failing web behaviour, like people that post porno-esque pictures of themselves onto like Facebook and Twitter. What the fuck? We don't need to see that at 8:13 on a Sunday morning. We're trying to get to work, you know, although the pain of a Sunday morning is pretty goddamn real. We don't need to see that at 8:13 on a Sunday morning. That's going to put us off work, or maybe even life itself.
Oh god, yes. The walk of shame photos, you know, the ones that people do when they're totally pissed at their nuts, and, you know, generally you'll get guys running about their tops off, grabbing their nuts, you know, doing, you know, the male duck face, which is even more embarrassing than the lasses doing duck face. Saying, usually it's these top prep boy types, you know, the ones that, you know, have got the popped collars and the fake tan and both ears pierced.
Or another failing web behaviour, selfies, man. See the people that post selfies or themselves in a toilet, but there's actually something going on in the background, like somebody taking a shit or a piss. What the fuck is
Don't
that
really see
about?
many of them, but the one that I always see is just a pure failure. They always take it in the mirror, right? And you know they've got the camera right covering their face, and it's like, are you dumb, right? And even recently, right, the iPad selfie, right? You've got a fucking, you know, a tablet in your hand. You've got like, it's basically like a fucking board, and you're trying to take a photo with that. Are you fucking stupid? Really?
Yeah. I mean, the other thing is, I would say, see these aimed at Facebook statuses, you'd see two lasses. Maybe one lassie would post a status passive aggressively against another lassie, and then the other lassie would see it, and then she would post a passive aggressive aimed at Facebook status about the other lassie originally posted it.
That's just
It's such a fail. I mean, it's cringy and embarrassing, although you're not involved in it. It's like,
that is Facebook in a nutshell, man. Facebook is just a passive aggressive fucking, you know, cesspit, right? Is that the amount of times that I've seen Facebook posts where someone is, you know, bitching about something, right? Now, they're aiming it just sort of at the, you know, the universe, but you can tell it was aimed at someone specific, right? They just obviously aimed for a certain person. And you're like, why are you posting this? Why do you need to share this with the world? Right? Now, I understand if you want to talk to someone, confide in a friend, but posting it to Facebook for, whoever the fuck wants to see it, right? You're just inviting a drama shitstorm, right? You will get your friends who will go, oh, hun, and oh, sorry, and, oh, blah, 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 person's an asshole, and they hope you're okay. It's then the, Facebook responses that mean absolute shit. And, you'll get this passive-aggressive war that will just happen, right? And you'll see it explode on Facebook, where people will just bitch at each other constantly, and it's just like,
Yeah, exactly. I would go on to Twitter bitching, right? You occasionally see it where someone actually talks about someone on Twitter, thinking that they can't see it and they're immune to Twitter. But the thing is, like, Twitter is the biggest public wall ever. You can see it regardless if your profile's private or public or whatever, right? And then you just see the person posting about another person, and basically the person posting making it the biggest tit of himself. It's just horrible.
Twitter is probably the worst place in the universe to have an argument, right? You're limited to 140 characters now. You can use other facilities like TwitLonger and stuff, which will allow you to put out a good fair bit longer message. But it's still not ideal for having an argument. 140 characters, you're just going to end up, spitting out, like one sentence, wonders to try and, do an argument, and it just ends up making you look both like idiots.
Exactly. And the other thing is, if you can't have the balls to say it in real life, keep your dirty little thoughts to yourself. People bragging about their drug habits on, like, statuses, how horrible is that? I mean, like, fair enough, like, people take shit, right? I mean, it's widely known, people take shit.
Yeah.
But the thing is, you don't have to brag about it in public statuses. And the other thing is, public statuses, apart from anything, statuses all over worldwide get checked by the police, and they will come to your door one day or another, and,
Truth is, the police are only likely to make, that much of a deal of public status, right? But the point is that people will, people feel the need to brag that, like, for instance, Reddit can do this a lot. You get people saying, like, is R3, I think, and basically they just say, like, like, I'm an 8, I'm so high right now, I'm so drunk that I'm so high, and I'm still doing this. No one fucking cares, right? It's pointless to brag or, say how high you are, because no one gives a shit. Right, and it's like saying that keep your bloody drug habits to yourself, right? I have no qualms about anyone that takes drugs, right? I don't care whether you're doing fucking whatever class of drug, right? You're doing coke, heroin, God knows what. As long as you're not destroying yourself with it, it's up to you. Fair enough, take what you like. But don't fucking be an idiot and just brag about it, because A, you could well end up with the police at your door if they think you're dealing, which they will do, and secondly, just don't be a dick about it. That's the golden rule of the internet. Just don't be a dick. Right? There's no need to brag about it. Bragging about it doesn't add anything to a conversation. And it's just unnecessary. And it's just, it's people, generally it comes from people that think, doing drugs is so cool. I've just started doing drugs. Oh my god, I'm so cool. Type people. Right? Is there anyone that's been doing drugs for any length of time could give less than two shits about what you actually are doing with your drugs?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, other web behaviours, people that do stupid things in their work gear whilst drunk, like off shift.
Oh god.
And the other thing is, like, if work ever gets a hold of that picture, you could be sacked.
You see this all over the news every once in a while, right? You see it, but some idiot doing something stupid in a Mazda uniform, or doing it, brazenly wearing the LAN tag that advertises their company, and say, look, right, here's a golden rule that will help many, many people that, well, that's assuming anyone even listens to this podcast, right? But it will help you, right? The minute you get off work, see your security tag or anything like your shirt, especially if you're wearing a staff uniform, get changed, right? But if you've just got a security tag, like, that has the lanyard, right? Just take it off and stick it in your pocket before you do anything, before you start drinking, right? Because see if someone knows where you work, right? Or a lot of bar staff can figure out where you work, which is easy enough if your land tag says, like, co-op on it or something like that, right? They know you work at the co-op, So they could, if you've caused trouble, or you get in a fight with someone, or you do something, that could very well end up back at your work somehow. And if they find out who you are, you're fucked. You are a detriment to the company's reputation. They will cut you faster than just fucking anything. You'll just get cut. That would end of it.
Yeah, but exactly. Other fail in web behaviour, I would say, is in mails statuses. And basically, that is literally meaning mail us, mail me. You know, you get these statuses going, mail me, I've got an empty, blah, blah, blah. It's annoying, it's overrated, and it's, mail me, I'm bored. Well, use one of the Facebook games, you stupid clown. Ugh!
Yeah, well, I can't say I've had much experience of that. It's never been really a status, but no, we should round up there.
Yep. I'll maybe quickly go on to emo self-harming statuses. The ones that go, oh, I can't stand one more day. Oh, my life is so low. Look, if it's that low, don't speak to the doctor. Don't speak to Facebook, because Facebook doesn't have anything constructive.
I'll actually counterpoint there, play devil's advocate. I think sometimes that is necessary, though, like the email sort of self-harming thing. A lot of people can make fun of it, but sometimes, especially for someone that is feeling suicidal or that way, sometimes just having an out is nice. Even if it's just the random walls, right, or just ranting at Facebook, it can help. I've been there for people that have just needed to rant, that have been harming themselves before, and it's quite a fucking alarming experience. And it's not, I used to be of that opinion that, you know, it is annoying for a lot of people, because a lot of people think we're doing it for attention. And to fair enough, fuck those people that are doing it for attention. But for every one of those, for every 100 of those that are doing it for attention, there's one person that maybe does need help, and it's not worth it to criticise them all for just in case that one person is, you know, possibly.
Yeah, but exactly. I mean, if you're suffering from that, you know, your best is, first of all, speak to a doctor as soon as possible, because they have the direct answer. And also, let's talk about hangover regret Facebook statuses. It's so fucking annoying. Or like, oh, I've drank 2 Venoms and I'm dying in my bed. Please send me some love. No. If you can't handle your drink, don't fucking drink. Take something less. Take a vodka Coke. Take Coke. Take a fucking Vimto. Just fucking leaf drink if you need be.
Oh god, the hangover statuses, yeah. I'm so pissed. It's basically the same category as the fucking drunks. That's why the drugs thing, right? Oh, I got so pissed last night, blah blah blah. I've done it myself on occasion, you know, but generally I can see how it'd be annoying, especially for someone who does it all the time. It's like saying, if you're gonna get pissed every night, stop posting about it every night.
Yep, exactly. I mean, same for a drunk texting. That's a pure annoying. Shitey game requests. It buggers the tits off you. Add me on Instagram. Add me on Candy Crush Saga. Add me on Shitville. Add me on Mong Saga. No! Ah!
Oh god, yeah, the Facebook is turned into a fucking, like, huge conglomerate. Do you remember when Poke was about? When everyone was
still
poking
about.
each other? Is
Aye.
it still there?
Yeah, it's still there.
But do you remember when it first came out? Is it just everyone was poking everyone, and it was fucking the most annoying shit ever.
Oh, no.
It's been less. It's not something people do every now, but it used to get poked all the time. Oh, I got poked frequently, and I loved it.
And basically, you were like a windmill dartboard then.
Indeed.
Quickly round up on sharing porn on Facebook, you know, like people that basically shared what they had seen on Pornhub. That's just terrible.
Oh, the social media on porn. I'll never get that. Every male uses porn, and plenty of females use porn.
Yeah.
But who the fuck goes, I'm watching, two girls on guy, or, girl rides cowgirl, or, fucking,
Aye, totally.
whatever, and who the fuck posts that to Facebook? Twitter or
Exactly.
whatever. It's the same. What the fuck is the purpose of these? I can understand it for a sense that, someone in the business, like a porn director or porn stars themselves, maybe that might be something they would use, but how frequent is that?
Exactly, and the other thing is, this is Facebook, not Wank Wank Central. So, leave your porn on Pornhub and log out of Facebook before you start fucking yourself to porn, because we don't want to see the links
What
to
you've
what
been
you were
watching.
watching. Let's move on to, like, statusing your full diary. How annoying is that? I mean, the full week's diary you status onto Facebook. When you see it, you go, really? Is that what you've got on your diary? Well, write it on a piece of paper and remember it, you twat. That's what I'd say. And the other
What
thing
diaries
is,
were supposed to be private. That's the thing.
exactly. And the other thing is, I'm going to move on to keyboard warriors. What a fail. The ones that get big and brave in keyboard life on Facebook and Twitter, whatever, but actually in real life, they're actually as quiet as a fucking church mouse. If you're not going to say it in real life, shut the fuck up.